Verdi might be the most low-key, slept-on outdoor town in America. So it starts in Tahoe City, right, and goes all the way to Pyramid Lake.
Yeah, there's like 4 different sections, but it's 15 miles. It follows the Truckee River, basically. You're 20, 30 minutes away from the lake. You're 5 minutes away from the Truckee River. So you can go down there, go fishing. You can take your bike from your driveway and just ride a bike trail for however long you want to. It's pretty cool because you could jump on in Verdi, ride to downtown to the Reno, grab a cup of coffee, grab lunch, and ride back home. Why would you want to give Idaho 5 or 6% of the money that you made while you were working or that you are working? Why would you want to do that? The number one reason why Boise can never compare to Reno? Tahoe.
Welcome back to the Reno-Tahoe Real Estate Insider. Today, I'm sitting down with Gregg Moore of Chase International Real Estate. Gregg, thank you so much for joining. Today, we're going to talk about the Tahoe to Pyramid Lake Bikeway and other bike trails around Reno.
Yeah.
I'm a big biker, mountain biker. I know you've enjoyed that in the past. For those people that don't know you, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, Gregg Moore. We have the Moore Real Estate Group at Chase International, which is actually a family team. So it's literally myself, my wife, my daughter, my sister, and our team is growing. So we actually have one that is not a Moore.
Before we get into today's episode, if you're thinking about buying or selling in Reno-Tahoe, I want to help you find the right agent that will help you reach your specific goals. Now, I've worked alongside hundreds of agents in this market as a mortgage lender, and I know who the top performers are and what they're good at. Now, I've put together a free 1-minute assessment that lets me discover who the best agent will be for you and your goals. This is completely free, and I want to be upfront with you. I don't receive any kickbacks or referral fees for connecting you with an agent, and you're under no obligation to use me as your lender. Click the link below to take the assessment. It only takes 1 minute. Now let's get into today's episode. Not all Moores anymore.
No, one more.
I love that. I love that it's a family operation. So yeah, let's dive right into it. I know Reno is known for the outdoors. I recently had a post about Reno being a top 3 outdoor city. People loved that. So tell us a little bit about this bike trail. I don't think many people know about it.
So it was in the process for so many years, and there's all but a couple of little parts that have finished, but it actually goes all the way from Tahoe all the way out to Pyramid Lake down in Washoe Valley.
Okay, so it starts in Tahoe City, right, and goes all the way to Pyramid Lake?
Yeah, there's like 4 different sections, but it's 15 miles of bike trail, and it follows the Truckee River basically through all of down the hill and through Verdi and all the way out.
Okay, so some of it's paved. It sounds like I know from Tahoe City to we've ridden all the way to Olympic Valley, and I know that section's paved. I've never done the full trail, but so some of it's paved.
Yeah,
and some of it's unpaved. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, and I haven't done the full trail either. I don't know that I would ever do the whole trail all at once.
Yeah.
I don't know if my knees could handle 115 miles of biking all at once, but even that they switch it up. But yeah, no, it's some of it's paved, some of it's dirt. Most of it goes along the Truckee River, but some of it veers off and then comes back.
Okay. So yeah, for people that are wanting to get out on a bike, it sounds like a fantastic adventure.
It's one more reason, right?
How much does the proximity, so it goes from Tahoe City to Pyramid, it follows the Truckee River. The Truckee River flows through downtown Reno. It flows, before it hits Reno, it flows through Truckee and then Verdi, and then hits downtown Reno, and then it follows 80 out till it veers off and goes toward Pyramid.
Into Wadsworth. So it goes, and one of the main pickup points is actually in Verdi. People will drive their cars and pack their bikes up and start in Verdi and do different sections of it. So that's a huge portion.
Okay, so the Verdi is where the insertion point is.
It's one of them, yeah.
Okay.
There's 4. There's, right at Tahoe City, and then Truckee, Verdi, and then it follows it out, and it follows along the Truckee River mostly, but along I-80 corridor all the way out to this little town called Wadsworth. On the Pyramid Lake Reservation, the Paiute Reservation out there.
Wow. Okay. And as far as, let's say, the section in Verdi, I know Verdi is mountainous. Is that a true single track mountain biking section, or is it still more gravel based in that section? Do you know?
You know what? I haven't traveled that part,
Okay.
but I know they're using road bikes and they're using mountain bikes. So
Okay, so it's
so
not. It's
it
not
can't be full.
downhill.
It can't be full gravel.
Got it.
Just for the bikes that I've seen out there. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not a downhill by any means, but how much does the proximity to a trail like this, does it affect? And we're here on a real estate podcast, right? Does it affect home values and what buyers are looking for? Do you ever get buyers come through the door that say, "Hey, we love biking. We really want to be close to trails. We really want to be close to." I know Reno overall is a very accessible outdoor city, so you're not too far from trails no matter where you live. But do you ever get that from buyers, or is it more of an afterthought?
The outdoor enthusiasts are the outdoor enthusiasts, if I can say that. I don't know a better way to say that. So being that close to another trail that is not so well known because it's a newer trail. There's certain neighborhoods that are closer, obviously, to just jumping on the Tahoe-Pyramid Bike Trail. Mm-hmm. But there aren't many neighborhoods anywhere in Reno, depending on if you're in a $400,000 starter home or all the way up to the end of the $3.5 million neighborhoods. You're within riding distance to a trail, whether it's a bike trail, a mountain bike trail. So the outdoor enthusiast, it's like another reason. I don't know that it's actually affected values, but it's affected appeal.
Okay, so it's a feature. It's a great feature just living in Reno in general. And I mean, that's what I love so much about this area in Reno is that it is so accessible to stuff like that. Are there any specific Reno neighborhoods that people look for to have more trail access than others?
The biggest one that I found is in Verdi.
Okay.
Like all of Verdi has kind of exploded for multiple reasons. Obviously, we have a ton of people moving over from California that don't want to pay the taxes. They don't want to pay the fees that it costs to live in California, but they want to be close. Obviously, California is one of the most beautiful states in the nation, right? I mean, Tahoe.
I'd say probably the most beautiful.
It is.
California.
I'm a transplant from California, Northern California.
From where originally?
I was born in Eureka, California.
Okay.
Humboldt County, way up on the coast. There's just a beauty about California. So when people come over, they still want to be close because most likely their friends or family are still living in California. But then they love the outdoors. And Tahoe from Verdi, I mean, you're 20, 30 minutes away from the lake. Mm-hmm. You're 5 minutes away from the Truckee River. Mm-hmm. So you can go down there, go fishing. You can take your bike from your driveway and just ride a bike trail for however long you want to. It's pretty cool because you could jump on in Verdi and just ride to downtown to the rapids in downtown Reno, grab a cup of coffee, grab lunch, and ride back home. And it wasn't like an extravagant outing. It was just a bike ride.
Yeah, that's cool. Especially with e-bikes now too. You can head back uphill and you're not killing yourself.
Yeah. You might even have a beer downtown and just use the throttle on the way back.
Exactly. No, I love that. Verdi is as close for people that don't know where Verdi is. So if you're heading down 80 or 80 connects San Francisco to Reno and then it heads towards Salt Lake City through the middle of Nevada. For people that don't know where Verdi is the first town you get to as soon as you cross the Nevada border.
Yep.
And so it's as close as you can get to California, to San Francisco without having to pay California taxes and state income tax, right? And part of the reason we love Northern Nevada too is the low property taxes. The best thing about owning a home in Northern Nevada is the property taxes, in my opinion. Unlike California, where California's property taxes are based on the sales price, you're typically talking about 1.25% of the sales price. So if you're buying a $600,000 home in California, your annual taxes are going to be, or your monthly taxes are roughly going to be $600 a month. In the Reno area, in Northern Nevada in general, you could buy a $600,000 home and your taxes are maybe $150 a month or $200 a month. It really just depends on the property. But Verdi, getting back to that, I love Verdi. It's so close. I mean, is Verdi popping up in conversation more and more now?
All the time. And some of it was a very older community, not 50s older, not Reno, Old Town, where it was built in the 40s and 50s and that, but it was an older community.
When
it was
you say
an older,
you mean like older infrastructure or older people?
Older as in the buildings, the homes, they were not new. And as more people came in, you know, they were able to get the permitting done. So there's been a few builders that have gone out there and actually built subdivisions. So you were kind of tied to you were going to get a minimum of, I think, a half acre to an acre, and your properties were going to be, you know, more of a farm, ranch, rural feel. And the people coming over from out of state, whether it was from California or anywhere else, if they wanted to be near Tahoe, that was the first neighborhood, right? We just talked about that. And not everybody wants to take care of a half an acre or an acre of property. And there's nothing wrong with having a house that's, you know, brand new or 2, 3, 4 years old. So the maintenance on those, it's literally nothing.
Yeah,
so it's appealing. So you can go rural. It still is rural. There's one little schoolhouse out there. The elementary schoolhouse it's pretty cool. And there's some restaurants out there. The Sasquatch. If you haven't been to the Sasquatch, you have to go to Sasquatch.
And so from downtown Reno, let's say you drive into downtown Reno, or just let's say you want to go to Midtown. I mean, you're talking what, 10 to 20 minutes, 15 minutes maybe?
15 minutes.
So
yeah.
It's rural, but you're still extremely close to the city. If you want to go grab a bite to eat, get groceries, go to Home Depot, right? You're right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Your first exit after, you know, coming into Reno would be like Rod Drive.
Verdi might be the most low-key, slept-on outdoor town in America.
Very well could be.
People in Reno, do not crucify me for that comment. It goes viral. You guys have already been harping on me a little bit. Verdi's being discovered.
You know, the bike paths, this one bike path is pretty amazing. But if you're familiar with the Reno area, there's a spot right by the university. There's a big N on the hill for Nevada. And me and my son, I mean, we've taken our bicycles, our mountain bikes, and there's trails up there that you could ride in 20 minutes. So you can get an incredible ride for a moderately experienced rider. Mm-hmm. Not an easy trail, but it's not a hard trail by any stretch.
Downhill trail?
Up, down, single trail. You have to have some balance. You cannot be a beginner. This isn't a training wheel. You're not going to take your 5-year-old that has training wheels on it. It's, if you want a exhilarating ride, that is probably 20 to 30 minutes. And you could ride longer. There's always trails that you could go off of. Yeah. But right by the end, there's a place you'll see people pulling off of McCarran above Rancho San Rafael Park. And it's pretty cool.
Okay, so it's super accessible, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and all the trails are. That's the part. That's the beauty. I live in Hidden Valley, where there's a dog park. Everybody knows about the dog park behind Hidden Valley. But there's also, like, I'll ride my mountain bike out of the driveway when I have 15, 20, 30 minutes in the morning to just go get a good ride in.
Yeah.
And I can take off, and it's from driveway to driveway. It's 25 minutes, and I get incredible incline. I get some mountain. It's all dirt. I mean, other than the road that I take to get there, it's all dirt. It feels like you're just riding trails. You're out in the mountains. And talk about mental clarity.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh,
it's such a good way to start a day.
It's so nice, especially now.
Let's talk about let's compare and contrast. So I'm from Texas, about an hour west of Fort Worth originally. So it's complete suburbs around there. Not where I'm from. It was a small town, but the expansion continues in DFW. So yeah, let's compare and contrast a morning in Reno compared to a morning potentially elsewhere, right? If you're in the suburbs of, let's say, a Fort Worth or anywhere, right, that's very suburban, you're waking up, you're having to get in your car to go somewhere. I mean, maybe you could go on a jog, right, through the sidewalks, or you could go on a bike ride through the trails, but for the most part, you're likely having to drive somewhere, right? So get in your car, load up the bike, what have you. There's some effort that goes into that, some time. It's a little bit of a hassle. There's spots in Reno where, like you said, where you live, where you can wake up and you can literally open up the garage, hop on your bike, go for a ride, and circle right back, and you're finding dirt. It's not just sidewalk. It's not just concrete. And I think that is so appealing. Like, for people that really do want to get out and get away and have it be accessible, easily accessible, Reno is such a good place.
And those neighborhoods, the neighborhoods that you're talking about that are accessible to dirt, they're also 10 minutes away from downtown.
So what are the neighborhoods? Let's talk about those. So you said Hidden Valley. For
So
people
Hidden
that
Valley
don't
is on
know,
the- so-
where is Hidden Valley?
So Hidden Valley is, if you were to look at it on the map, you would almost think that Hidden Valley is part of Sparks because it's so far east that how could it be in Reno? But it is in Reno. My address is actually in Reno. I don't even live in the city of Reno. I live about a mile. I just live in Washoe County. My address is Reno, but I live
Outside city limits.
outside city limits by a couple of blocks as the crow flies.
Okay.
But Hidden Valley, Wingfield Springs, so go north of I-80. Wingfield Springs is Sparks. Spanish Springs is out Pyramid Highway going towards Pyramid Lake once again, which we should touch on Pyramid Lake because that's huge. Like that, there's a very spiritual aspect to Pyramid Lake.
Yeah, let's dive into that.
So the Paiute tribe, it's actually part of what used to be Lake Lahontan, which there still is the Lahontan Reservoir, but Lake Lahontan used to cover most of Nevada, before it was
Back in the day.
back in the days of dinosaurs.
It used to be a giant lake.
It was enormous, and there's and it's called Pyramid Lake because there's formations out in the lake that resemble a pyramid. But there's fish that are exclusive to Pyramid Lake in the world,
Found nowhere else.
found nowhere else. One, I believe it's called the kiwi, and it's not the fruit. It's not like quinoa. It's not that. It's C-U-I-U-I, kiwi, as I believe the correct, or pretty close to the correct pronunciation. Yeah. But they were, the Paiute tribe was all around there, and it still is a reservation. So when you go out there, it is reservation land. When you ride your bike on this trail, you go through Wadsworth, which is the first town on the reservation. That you need to respect their land.
You got to go out there. You got to respect their land. I'm a huge spiritual guy. It's not stuff I typically talk about in public, but in private, it's something I really enjoy. What are you seeing in regard to Pyramid Lake that is so spiritual, and let's talk more about that. I'm interested.
For those of you that are watching this and live here, there's really two ways into Wadsworth or to Pyramid Lake in a car. Through Pyramid Highway that takes you out. It's Highway 445, and it'll take you all the way out there. The other way is through Wadsworth. But when you come down and you see the lake for the first time, if you don't have a slight spiritual experience, and whether you think it's a spiritual experience or not, you'll be like, that is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen on the planet. Go ahead and call it what you want. If you don't want to call it a spiritual experience, that's fine.
Yeah.
But when you come down for the first time, or the first time this year, every time we drive out there, we used to go boating out there. We used to live out in Spanish Springs, which is, once again, not in the city of Sparks or the city of Reno. It's just Washoe County. I guess that's where I like to live. I like to live where I can see the stars at night.
Yeah.
I like to live where we can ride your bikes right out of the driveway, but take your quads, your ATVs, your motorcycles, and pretty much right out of the driveway. I don't know if it's legal, but people do it. Yeah. And they ride around, and there's trails for everything. But back to Pyramid Lake. Sorry, not to divert. It is literally such a majestic lake with formations that you guarantee you've never seen before.
So they're otherworldly formations.
Correct. Yeah.
And then I would love to know the history behind Pyramid Lake and the Paiute tribe, and I need to dive more into that.
That would be a whole nother conversation. There's a lot of information on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
it's very interesting though. Yeah.
I need to dive into that more. That should be a requirement if you're going to live in Northern Nevada.
Yeah.
So yeah, Pyramid Lake, majestic. People need to know more about that. Reno is an amazing outdoor city. I believe it's top 3 in the country. People are figuring that out. Let's compare it to Boise. Let's talk about that. Let's go in. Let's dive in. Boise versus Reno.
Yeah.
Boise, Idaho. What do you? I want to hear your thoughts.
Idaho in general, but Boise specifically is it's like a mini Reno. There's so many similarities. We have a lot of people that when they're coming in from out of state and they're looking at Reno as one of the opportunities or one of the places they might want to live, they're always, yep. and we're going to be going to Boise next, or we just came from Boise and we're looking at you, and then we're going home to make a decision. That it's been every year, every single
So there's
year.
strong competition between Reno and Boise.
Huge,
Interesting.
huge competition.
Now, does Idaho have state income tax?
They do.
Guys, why is this even a question? Come on. No state income tax in Nevada. Nevada's open for business, one of the most business-friendly states in the country. Why are we even talking Boise versus Reno? Sorry, I digress.
You know what? If you were to be retired and not have to worry about it at all, and you weren't getting any kind of pension or income, it'd be even a bigger discussion.
Right.
But I want to say their income tax rate is right around 5-6%. So why would you want to give Idaho 5 or 6% of the money that you made while you were working, or that you are working? Why would you want to do that?
I know.
So you could live here, and I'll give it the number one thing, the number one reason why Boise can never compare to Reno, Tahoe. There's only one Lake Tahoe.
You just give me.
I
just got chills.
Only one Lake Tahoe.
I just got chills.
You can have nice lakes, and Boise, Idaho has nice lakes that are close to it, a couple hours away. But there's only one Tahoe in the world. If anybody, talk about majestic, talk about spiritual, crazy. So 30 to 45 minutes, depending on where you live, 30 to 45 minutes, you're at the Nevada side of Lake Tahoe. Drive around to the California side. There's so much to do, let alone, how many ski resorts are up here?
There's over 10. There's double-digit ski resorts that I can name off the top of my head within an hour's drive.
When I was driving here today, I driving from Reno, I drive up Mount Rose Highway, and you come over the crest, and it's like, there's the lake. And there's a calmness that comes over you. Like you just said, you got chills. I was actually on the phone talking, and I'm like, hold on, I'm going to call you back. Because there's only, you get that one, there it is. Mm-hmm. And I've lived here for 29 years. So 29 years, I don't know how many times I've come up over that crest, and you see Lake Tahoe through the trees, and you're like, that's so beautiful. Anyway, Boise, sorry, you're a beautiful place. I visited. It was fun, but you don't have Tahoe.
You know what you also don't have in Boise? You don't have the most beautiful state in the country of California right next to you.
Right.
You can get to the ocean in 3.5 hours.
Is that not crazy?
You can get to Yosemite in 4, right? I think 4. Mammoth, if you want epic skiing, Mammoth or Squaw Valley. Squaw Valley's extremely close, 30 minutes from North Reno. But Mammoth is only 3 hours, 3 hours. You've got hot springs all over, which I'm sure Boise's probably got hot springs too. There's a lot of volcanic activity up there, but I agree with you. With Tahoe, Tahoe is by far, I compare Reno to, so let's talk about other mountain town or other mountain cities. You got Denver, you've got Salt Lake, you've got Boise, you've got, I guess Seattle and Portland. I've never been to the Pacific Northwest, but there are there's skiing nearby. There's mountains.
And talk about taxes. Everywhere that's beautiful has high taxes. So how great is it to be in a town that has everything, that is right next to Tahoe, all the ski resorts, all the bike trails. And I think within about 60 minutes, there's 20 plus lakes other than Tahoe that you can get to fish, hike, bike, trail, whatever you want to do.
Cliff jump, yeah. No, Tahoe is the absolute game changer. Tahoe changes, it completely changes your summer experience. Summers in Tahoe, I get there's skiing in the winter, right? All these other mountain places have skiing. Skiing is great. But the summertime in Lake Tahoe, unbelievable.
Yep.
These other places, without this huge, beautiful lake that everyone loves, there's not that level of summer. The vibe. You have to come to Tahoe. If you've never been to Tahoe, you have to come to Tahoe and you have to experience the vibe.
Yeah.
I'm all about it. The beach, just cruising around the lake in awe of what you see, the hiking, the biking,
How about the PCT? Goes right through it.
The PCT goes right through. You've got the Rubicon Trail on the West Shore. If you're a lover of off-road vehicles, the Rubicon goes down to Sacramento, right? And then, I mean, if you just want to sit on the beach and sip a cocktail,
Yeah.
right? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And you can do all of that without having to pay state income tax or high property taxes. And you can do all that and still have all of California to enjoy without having to deal with the side effects of living in California. It's unbelievable. That's why Reno-Tahoe, people can fight me on this. It's a top 3 outdoor city. I don't care what anyone says.
I think we're probably in the top 2.
Top 2.
I'll put it up to top 2. Challenge us.
Who's number 1? Who would even?
Because I haven't been everywhere yet.
I haven't either.
We might be number 1, but I'm going to say 2 because I don't want my ego to get the best day. Right?
We're probably missing something, but unbelievable. And people are starting to figure this out. Also, Nevada is open for business. If you want to start a business, Nevada is such a great place. There's way less red tape than a lot of other states.
Yep.
Again, taxes. Can always lean on taxes. Taxes are minimal. Nevada is very business friendly. So if you're someone looking to enjoy life outside of work by being outside, if you want to raise kids outside and not have them on iPads all day long,
yeah,
and still have, now Reno's not as affordable as it used to be, but it's still comparative to other places like Reno. It's still a lower cost of living, right?
Right.
I can't think of a better place.
I mean, and affordability is relative.
Correct.
Like there's so much opportunity here. I just had a couple of gentlemen stop by an open house that I did last weekend. And they're like, we're going to buy houses. We're actually building out the Gigafactory out by Tesla, out by Panasonic, Switch, the whole the tech park out there.
Oh, that corridor out there. Yep.
And they're like, our jobs just said that we're going to be here for 10 to 12 years. They know they're going to be here for 10 to 12 years. So they're going to buy real estate because can you imagine what it's going to be in 10 to 12 years? I mean, right? The old adage, the best time to buy a house was 5 years ago.
I think it's a mini Bay Area. And hear me out. It's because of the surrounding area. The reason housing prices are so high in the Bay is because salaries or wages are really high, but also there's a limited supply of housing, right? Because you've got the ocean on one side and then you've got mountains on the other, right? There's only so much building that can happen and still to be within a livable distance of work in the city. Reno reminds me of that also. You've got BLM land on the east and you've got the Sierra Nevadas on the west. You can build to the north and south, but eventually, living so far north, you're just too far away. So I think Reno proper and then close around Reno, I mean, I am so bullish on it just for all the reasons we've talked about, but also the limited supply of building that, I think in 10 years, I mean, unless some black swan event happens where the housing market just completely crumbles, I think Reno is going to be a fantastic investment. So we'll see. I could be completely wrong. Also, I'm a real estate professional that makes money from people buying and selling houses. So that's helpful.
I mean,
but
I bought my first house 20 plus years ago in Sparks. And the only thing I wish now is I would have figured out how to buy 10 of them.
Yeah.
That even through the recession, I would have bought before the recession.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. It's a good area.
Yeah.
100%. It's a growing area. It's a good area. And as long as the infrastructure still keeps going, it's a good area.
I mean, if you compare it though to like, let's say Florida or Texas, Texas is taking it on the chin. So is Florida. There's just so much buildable land out there that builders keep building and building and building. So the supply just keeps coming online in a market that is not necessarily advantageous as a seller, right? There's not a whole lot of buyer demand. So you're seeing prices. I mean, you're getting screaming deals out there. I have a family buying houses in Texas and you're just not seeing that in Reno. Reno is still in such high demand. From what I'm seeing, at least. Are you seeing the same on your end?
It is. And what we saw before the decline, before the recession, whatever you want to call it, builders were building on the bet that they were going to be selling. Meaning, You know,
It's
when
just
the recession hit,
endless building.
there was empty homes.
It was endless building, basically.
And now even the new builders, I mean, they're going out and buying the property and they're securing the property for their next development, but they're not just building, and hopefully they have a line of people at the door waiting to buy. You want to buy a brand new home? The builders are the ones controlling the inventory on that side, right? And they're building once they get into contract. They have the land there. They know what homes are going there, but they're not just building 25 homes this month unless they have 25 contracts,
So
which is different.
they're being much more strategic.
Oh,
about it. They're
absolutely.
taking risk off the table. Yeah,
Yep.
that makes a lot of sense.
And it always goes back to supply and demand.
Yeah.
So when the supply is small or smaller, which it has been for a long time, the demand stays strong. Even if the demand goes down, our inventory is still low.
Mm-hmm.
So prices aren't going to plummet. It would take, like you said, it would take something that nobody could foresee in any crystal ball
Correct.
for that to happen. So yeah, solid place.
Correct.
And right back to Tahoe.
Yeah, there's only one Lake Tahoe in the entire world.
Yep.
If you've never seen Tahoe with your own eyes, you have to come see it and you'll understand exactly what we're talking about. I'll never forget when I pulled into town for the first time. It was at 10 o'clock at night, so it was dark. I drove up. I had stayed in Phoenix the night before, drove all the way to Tahoe to Incline, and I arrived at 10 o'clock. So I drove up 50 and then down 28 from the Carson exit. And I woke up that next morning, and my friend took me to the lake, and I saw it for the first time. It was an out-of-body experience. I didn't know. I was like, where am I? I've never seen anything like it. Like, am I dreaming? This is unbelievable. And then we went and skied Squaw Valley the next day, and it was
That's sweet.
the best skiing
That's
of my
awesome.
life. So, yeah, Tahoe is special. The skiing around Tahoe is special when the snow is good, and there's nothing like it. So, Gregg, it's been a fantastic conversation.
No, I appreciate it.
You're an outdoorsman. You know what adventure looks like. You know the city of Reno. You know Northern Nevada. You know you lived in California growing up. You know you can compare and contrast those things really well from your prior experiences. How can people connect with you if they want to work with you? Instagram best? Is reaching out via the website? Is your cell phone?
It's at Gregg Moore Sells Homes on Instagram. It's NV Real Estate Pros on the website.
Okay.
That's probably the easiest. All my contact information is on both of those.
Okay, and I'll link that in the description below. And is there any last comments you want to make to anybody looking to buy or sell right now?
No, I think anybody that wants to challenge us on the number 2, number 3 spot ought to reach out sooner than later.
And the only reason we're not saying number 1 is because
I haven't been everywhere.
Yeah, there might be somewhere else. We don't know.
Right.
So,
No, it's been fun.
Gregg, thank you. I appreciate your time. If you've been thinking about making a move to Reno-Tahoe, I want to help you do it right. One of the biggest mistakes buyers and sellers make is choosing the wrong agent, someone who doesn't understand their goals or their market. And as a mortgage lender, I've worked alongside hundreds of agents in this area, and I know exactly who the top performers are and what makes them great. So I've put together a quick 1-minute assessment that helps me understand exactly what you're looking for, your timeline, your budget, the type of property, and what matters most to you in an agent. Once I see your answers, I'll personally match you with the agent I believe is the best fit for your specific situation. Now, this is completely free, and I want to be upfront with you. I don't receive any kickbacks or referral fees for connecting you with an agent, and you're under no obligation to use me as your lender. My only goal is to make sure you're working with someone who will genuinely take care of you. I hope that's me, but if not, that's okay. Now click the link below to take the assessment. It takes about a minute, and I really look forward to connecting with you personally.